everyone, and welcome to the daily newspaper analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So today we have an article for our discussion that we have taken from the Hindu newspaper that talks about the cyber infrastructure, the data security and everything, and what can we do to make it even prudent in the country. And then we have news update and legal news for the day. So India's cyber infrastructure needs more than patches. That means that we definitely need to come with a more coherent approach when it comes to cybersecurity in the country. So data from the National Crime Records Bureau shows that there have been 12,317 cases of cybercrime in 2016, and that have increased to 50,035 cases registered in 2020. So it's actually approximately more than 4 to 5 times if it comes to the increases in the number of cyber crimes in the country. So cybercrime is increasing in India with alarming speed, and a legal framework to combat the same is of immediate need, definitely. Now, about cybercrime, we obviously know there are many instances of cyberbullying, hacking and other kinds of cybercrimes that take place over the time. So as of present, there is no separate procedural code for the investigation of cyber or computer related crimes. And we all know that we cover it all under the IT Act for that matter. So as electronic evidence is entirely different in nature when compared to the evidence of traditional crime, laying down standard and uniform procedures to deal with electronic evidence is essential, because nowadays we all know that this was with the demand of time that the cyber crimes have come to the picture. And in that situation, it is important that we have an appropriate law that deals with this entire region. So this would be a good time to consider the draft rules for the reception, retrieval, authentication, and preservation of electronic records made by Chief Justices of various high courts back in 2016. Now we definitely need to realize the same. And it is relevant here to mention that the court, during the trial of the infamous North Goa versus Taranjit Tejpal case. We all know, guys, Tarun Tejpal or Taranjit Tejpal was the then, a leading face of Tehlka news, and there were cases of molestation running against them. In this case, it took objection to the fact that the investigating sub-inspector who seized the relevant CDs did not know the meaning of the term hash value. Here, it definitely means that even the police force or the people who are dealing with such crimes, they are not very well equipped with the knowledge and the proper training that should have been imparted for them for proper functioning in the system. Similarly, in the Arushi murder case of Noida, we all have heard about, the Allahabad High Court observed that the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, that is called as the CERT-in expert, was not provided with the details of the internet logs, router logs, and even the laptop logs as well, which definitely creates a lag in the entire investigation. So even the certificate under Section 65B of the Indian Evidence Act, which is statutorily required for this purpose, was undated and hence rejected by the trial court. Definitely, we can here see that there are a lot of lacuna and gap when it comes to such kinds of investigations, specifically in the cyber crimes. And so these gaps need to be bridged with appropriate legal system. So in order to combat this, data localization must feature in the proposed personal data protection law. Now about the personal data protection law as well, we know that the earlier one which was contested had been brought down, and now a newer version of it is being considered to be brought forward. So it is being said that data localization must be there as an important feature in the new data protection law. Now by data localization, simply we mean that the data should be kept, basically the practice of keeping the data within the particular region where it was originated or where it was collected. For example, if there is any country, let's say Google, there is any company and it is functioning in India, it also has an office in India. So if it is collecting, or it is collecting any data from India, so it should also store that data in India, and it should not transfer it back to another country or its own home country for processing. And this would mean data localization, and this would enhance the capacity of this particular country, in this case India, to have a greater hold on the data that was collected from its very citizens. So this will help enforcement agencies and they're able to get timely access to the data of suspected Indian citizens. So I hope that you now understand that if, let's say, Indian government will be in the hold of this data that was collected, even let's say by any foreigner company, maybe Google over here. So if at all there is any discrepancy, it comes up, or there is any investigation that is to be made, it would be easier for our local authorities, our local police to access this data well within time, and so that we can definitely hold on to the suspected Indian citizens. So developing in-house teams would also help in cracking down cases of child sexual abuse material as well. That basically would be in various companies for the data that are responsible for data collection. In-house teams can be the ones that can be taken like a first aid kit for that matter. Now let's see what do we have for news update today. Fifth Rashtriya Poshan Maah 2022 to be celebrated from 1st to 30th September 2022. Now, as we know that the month of September is taken as the nutrition month or the Poshan Maah, and the Ministry of Women and Child Development is celebrating the fifth Rashtriya Poshan Maah. Maha means month in Hindi, 2022 across the nation from 1st September till 30th September. Rashtriya Poshan Maah serves as a platform to bring focus to the course of nutrition and good health as well. Maah serves, basically this month serves as a platform to bring focus to the discourse of nutrition and good health. Secondly, Rajasthan announces amnesty scheme for mining. Rajasthan government has announced an amnesty scheme for miners. So the mines department's areas and interest waiver scheme 2022 will be applicable to the outstanding dues of those in the business of miner minerals. Now this scheme is being implemented implemented on mining leases, quarry licenses, dead rent on a temporary work permit on for river sand, royalties, penalties, etc. Thirdly, PM Modi commissions INS Vikrant. So, Prime Minister has commissioned the carrier built at a cost of 20,000 crores at a function organized at the Cochin Shipyard Limited in Kochi. The ship is christened, which means named, after India's first aircraft carrier Vikrant, which played a vital role in the 1971 war. So from 2013 to 17, the Navy had fielded two aircraft carriers, the erstwhile Virat acquired from UK and INS Vikramaditya from Russia, which is currently in service. Fourthly, Cabinet Committee on Security approves Tejas Mark II project. So the Cabinet Committee on Security has approved Tejas Mark II project. The CCS, that is the Cabinet Committee on Security, has sanctioned 6,500 crore rupees for designing and developing of Tejas Mark II fighter jet with prototypes, flight testing and certification. Let's see what do we have for legal updates today. Firstly, Order 6, Rule 17. So the amendment applications not to be rejected merely for delay. This has been said by the Supreme Court. So the Apex Court of India held that mere delay would not be a ground for rejecting application for amendment under Order 6, Rule 17 of the Civil Procedure Code. The bench also laid down guidelines for considering applications seeking amendment of the plaint. It was observed that a liberal approach has to be taken while considering such amendment applications. And this was brought forward by the Apex Court in the case of Life Insurance Corporation versus Sanjeev Builders Private Limited. So this was all for today. We hope you liked the session. If you did, you will like it. Also, you will subscribe to our channel. If you wish to download the PDF of today's slides, you can join our Telegram channel. The link is there in the description box below, or you can also scan this QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Thank you so much.